Welcome to Sprout, the future of development with Scriptcase. Efficiency, modernity and speed for your projects, improving the way you work with the tool. That's how we can summarize what Sprout is. Say goodbye to the old-fashioned look of your apps, with a totally revamped look. Featuring an editable color palette at runtime and a variety of different button styles, customizable by you. Go beyond Scriptcase's limits. With 6 new macros, Sprout also includes a completely unique notifications module, allowing users to send alerts and events anytime. By the way, Sprout provides something unprecedented, full power to the system users in managing their menus, enabling the customization of items, sub-items, texts, icons and guidance. In addition, Sprout has a completely redesigned security module integrated into its system menu. It is also possible to completely modify items such as login, initial application, system logo and much more. Now you can see how to use the unique features that only Sprout offers. Can you imagine if you could offer to your customer a system with a modern layout, totally independent of the Scriptcase standard, and the best, saving all that time and effort required when you start a project from scratch? You'll find it all in Sprout, which contains a revamped look for your apps, 13 native themes already included with Bootstrap, and over 1,000 possible combinations between apps, buttons, logins, headers and menus. In addition, Sprout features dynamic items, user menu, on-screen notification prompt, freedom and menu diversity. All this in a few clicks, at your fingertips. What's more, creating buttons in your project has never been easier. We've listed several unique colors, icons, sizes and behaviors that create a modern style for your applications, allowing you to add them all with a simple call to your project. Follow the creation of the buttons in practice and see the results obtained in the applications. A very easy new way to style your buttons, isn't it? We've taken care of even the smallest details, changing the visual concept of features like progress bars and subqueries, and introducing improvements like toolbar title, numeric field components, image and date like slide, calculator, calendar, a new layout in the definition of privileges and more. Overcome the barriers imposed by the tool in the development of your projects with the use of new and exclusive macros, improving your project's potential. Sprout has 6 of these macros ready to use, and it is also possible to use them in new scenarios on your system. Take a close look which they are. SC Add Notification raises the bar for your product, giving you a fully dynamic notification system, triggering and receiving alerts and events in real time. With the SC Field Group macro, you have the power to group multiple values into a single field, refreshing the look of your grid applications. SC Input Group brings the modernity of Bootstrap, allowing the grouping of icons, buttons and text in a single field. SC Float Label offers a feature that allows you to transform the placeholder into a floating label on form inputs. For Scriptcase applications like reports and forms, back to top is paramount to user usability, and Sprout allows its use with the SC back to top macro. With Sprout, your customer will have the autonomy and freedom to customize various system factors at runtime. In the System Settings menu, you can define a name and description for the system. In the Interface tab, find the type of customer that will use the system, choosing between companies, people or both.
También es posible definir si los administradores serán notificados sobre eventos específicos.
Your customer will be able to choose whether the home item will be displayed in the menu and which application will be linked to it. Menu items that do not have applications, or are not allowed, can be hidden or displayed but disabled. Sprout is ready to serve international customers, containing, in addition to English, the languages, Portuguese, Spanish, German, French, and Italian. Your customer will also be able to choose among 13 colors, which will be the predominant color of their system. All this at runtime, without needing you to change anything on project inside Scriptcase. You can also use the night shift feature, as well as setting a time to turn it on and off automatically, bringing comfort to the end user in their daily use. On the Login Page tab, you can choose, among 6 exclusive options, a login template to be used. It is also possible to customize the background mode of this login, choosing between image or color. Still in this tab, your user will set the system password recovery mode, either by direct submission of the password or form to choose a new password. In addition, it will be able to determine, if it will be available at login, the option to register new users. If registration is allowed, you can also choose a default department that will be linked to users immediately after registration. In the main menu tab, there are two menu formats, horizontal and vertical. In addition to the menu layout, the user can also customize the colors of all elements that are part of the component, such as header, drop-downs, logo space and item bar. All this is facilitated by the preview above, which shows in real time how the customization will be applied. In the Images tab, your customer will be able to customize the system logos and the predefined login background image. In the Restrictions tab, he can define whether the system will block unsuccessful access attempts, as well as the number of attempts that will define when the blocking will happen and the time that IP will remain blocked. Finally, on the Email (SMTP) tab, Sprout allows the configuration of a server to send system emails. In addition to all this, Sprout has three other modules that are indispensable in any system. The first one is the Customers module, which has its own database structure and business rules to customize the experience of customers, whether corporate or individual. In this way, Sprout is able to handle the different types of data pertinent to each one of them, thus facilitating access to important information such as addresses and contacts. The second of these modules is Users, which brings an elegant and attractive way to manage system users. One of the biggest innovations of this module is the option to define user privileges. That makes it possible to manage the permissions of a specific user, regardless of the department he belongs to. Also in this module, Sprout allows you to control access to the system, defining one or more IPs allowed for this. Likewise, it allows you to carry out the same access control, configuring the days of the week and times in which users will be free to enter. The last of the three modules is Employees. That offers all the necessary support for a good administration of employees via the system. Last but not least, Sprout brings a new way of using Scriptcase's security module. Totally redesigned to make the user experience uncomplicated and intuitive. Where for the first time, it is integrated into a dynamic menu and can be changed at runtime. creating departments, linking screens and permissions, and organizing your users without the need to change a single line of project code in Scriptcase. In addition to all this, Sprout also comes with other benefits. An exclusive online documentation, containing everything you need to know to install and migrate your project, detailing each of the available resources. If there are still doubts about the first installation of the product, we will be ready in our communication channels to assist you with technical support valid for 90 days, which you will receive after purchase. And all this with a 7-day money-back guarantee. This is the Sprout, the future of Scriptcase development.